Hey, okay. Let's do a little Chopin today. Usually with Chopin, we've already covered a couple nocturnes, so we get this vocal kind of material inspired by opera. Or sometimes in Chopin, we get more virtuosic piano writing. Like with some of his waltzes or, mazurkas and ballades and all this kind of stuff. We might even cover that piece later. But today I want to play a piece that is a little bit of an unusual style of writing for Chopin. This is his 20th prelude in C minor. He wrote 24 preludes, one for every key, and this is what he chooses to do with the key of C minor. Basically a chorale. Right. In the style of a chorale or like a hymn, but
yes,
romanticized.
Like just very vertical. And I have such an association with this piece because when I was at Juilliard in undergrad, in the dorms, every floor had a couple practice rooms on them. And there was a pianist who on my floor would practice that prelude like all day, every day. It's weird because it's not like a super technically challenging piece.
No.
But I would be just trying to do my homework in my room. And I didn't know the piece before I heard this person. Was it you?
No, it definitely wasn't me. I had never performed this.
Before I heard this being practiced, I'd never heard it before. And I always got frustrated with the harmonic direction of it because it goes ba-da-da-da-da. And then I just expected it to go like ba-da-da-da-da, which it does at the end. Yeah. But in the beginning, it's like it feels like it moves too... It like progresses too quickly harmonically.
It develops extremely quickly.
Yeah.
And in fact, this piece was originally just 8 measures. So right now it's 12, 13 measures, but so you're expecting this, right? And that being like, okay, that's the first phrase.
Right,
now
and then
let's
something
move
else
on.
happens. Yeah.
But instead, that 5/7 of 6 is like, oh, now we're in the 6th chord. Now we're in A flat, and because he's building a longer phrase. And gets to the dominant, gets to 5, but yeah, that is interesting how he needs, maybe because it's chorale writing, it's so kind of stunted. Like there's no florid counterpoint or anything like that. We just need to develop the chords interestingly as quickly as possible. We need to get to some secondary dominance. We need to move away from the key. Like, let's get going here. Otherwise, it'll get boring.
Yeah. I remember being so viscerally frustrated. I was like, is he just like jumping ahead? Or is, like, what are they doing?
I mean, I'm also, piano players are so interesting. Like, sometimes it just feels good to play something.
Oh yeah,
like
I mean, same with other instruments. I think
there's a spot in Liebestrom by Liszt, like one of the climaxes. And it's just like the visceral, the physical feeling of playing this is like so easy and nice. I think it's like your hands are wide apart.
Yeah.
You feel comfortable. It's not actually that hard to play, but you don't feel like being like, okay, well, let me practice left hand alone with metronome.
right.
Yeah, I'm really feeling the counterpoint. No, you just want to. Yeah, it's like that's what music is supposed to be doing that to me. Like,
right.
and you feel that, so you get lazy with your practicing. You just play the thing over and over and over again.
Practicing so hard. That's the real difficulty when you get to a certain level. Is not just
play it,
because at a certain point it feels so good to just play.
Yeah,
but it really serves very little purpose to just play through stuff. You really want to get in there and be like refining your technique, making things more efficient.
You should almost never play up to tempo.
Right.
Practice. Pretty much never. Like, it's not actually that useful unless you want to quickly like, oh wait, what would this feel like fast? Oh, sure. I have the wrong fingering, or
right.
But for the most part, playing slower gives you time to think and process what's happening.
Yeah, and there's always the person in the next practice room over where they are just playing and bulldozing through everything, and you kind of roll your eyes at them. Yeah, like someone who's not a musician might be like, "What's wrong with that? They're practicing, they're playing," but it's like, nah, they're just like, they're just making themselves feel good.
It's almost like if you're reading a book.
There's nothing wrong with making yourself feel good, but you know what I mean. At a certain point.
Like, yeah, you just you have to learn how to be efficient when you're practicing, because you don't realize that every single, I think we talked about this in another episode where we were slamming the piano, yeah. But basically everything you do when you're practicing is information that you're telling your body. Mm-hmm. So if you're playing through, okay, that's great, but what are you teaching yourself while you play through? Right. So if you do it 20 times, chances are you're going to make a mistake also within those 20 times. You're just playing through. Now you're starting to ingrain mistakes. Now you're starting to get lazy maybe with your interpretation too, where you're not learning the inner workings of it. You're just watching the movie of this piece over and over and over again. It'd be like studying a movie by just watching it over and over and over again, where it's like, okay, you want to pause it at this point, maybe?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think
if you're studying film, tell me, because
I've never studied film. I think. Well, we're talking about two different things though, because we're talking about studying a piece, like where you're studying the score or listening to it, versus like learning how to play it or studying a film. So I think if you're studying something as a consumer, I think repetition in just watching it over again could help.
No, I mean as a creator, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I just don't know.
What is the analogy there? I don't know, but
no, it would be like just watching the film over and over again, but not like making any notes about it, or not like thinking of, just being like, like,
or going to the batting cages and just like, I'm going to hit 1,000 balls today, but like not think about how you're swinging.
Yeah. Like just doing something over and over again does not mean you're going to get better at it. You have to do it.
We got a little trick. Sorry, finish your thought.
With intention.
Thank you. Such a good listener. Never interrupt anyone. I'm amazing. That whole 10,000 hours thing, maybe got us a little on the wrong track. Who's that dude? Malcolm Gladwell.
Is he the one who said that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was kind of like, it made us think it's a generalization, and I don't even remember what exactly he said in the book. It's probably like I'm generalizing, but there was this idea that you gotta throw more time than you think at something in order to get. People tend to underestimate just how much time you need to get absolutely like to become a master at a thing, or even to become very, very good at a thing. But what is the quality of those hours?
Right. You can't just be crunching the numbers, and it's not just, well, X plus Y equals Z, and then I don't know.
That was good. I like that equation. Got me. I suck at math. X plus Y equals Z. That sounds right. That actually sounds right.
Like, you can't just quantify everything and look at data and then try to replicate Glenn Gould did this exact thing.
I would never recommend
yeah
playing like this. I mean, I would never tell a student, okay, and also, and also you have to sing, while you're playing. I mean, there are idiosyncrasies. Obviously, those are outliers where it's like certain people just make it work for them, and actually, they probably through sheer hours, made those things work for them.
Yeah.
Anyway, but back to this. So the Chopin, this drove you crazy. So you have a negative association with this Prelude.
Yeah, except I really...
Oh, that sucks because it's already monotonous, like kind of by nature, just because of the writing is so stuck, but it's intentionally so. But if you heard that over and over and on repeat...
Oh, it was so like... And they would play it so like begrudgingly. Is that a word?
Yeah.
But what I do love in that piece...
Begrudgingly.
No, begrudgingly.
Yeah, no, I know. Go ahead.
I might have made that word up.
It's okay.
I love the repetition of the last phrase, the bum, 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 bum. That's so eerie at the end when it repeats, because it doesn't need to.
So that's exactly right. All of this was added. So first I'm going to blaze through it at 10x speed for a second. So we have these 8 measures. Measure 2. Measure 3. 4. Now that's kind of the first half of the phrase, and then we got a response that's quieter. That first section is supposed to be played really loud, fortissimo. Then this, beautiful. And I love this little inner voice that does imply a kind of chorale. Like there's an inner voice there, and then okay, next measure, and now we're supposed to end the piece. And the rest is added by Chopin later. It's just a repeat, but played softer. And then suddenly he swells up at the end with a crescendo. And then he adds this chord.
What's interesting about this, and I don't know if this is that significant, but in music, typically if there's a section that just exactly repeats, there's a thing called the repeat sign, so that they don't have to use more ink to like write it out again, right? So you just say like, this section, repeat it.
Yeah.
But in the score that I'm looking at, it's written out, and there are distinct different markings in it, which means it was really intentional the way he wanted this to be repeated. Because if you write a repeat sign, you give a lot of leeway to the performer to sort of repeat it however they want.
Yeah.
But this, like, there's a pianissimo, there's a, I can't see.
Crescendo.
Yeah.
At the crescendo at the
crescendo
end.
at the end, like you said. And so that's something to note.
That is interesting, and it's especially when you take into account that Chopin was someone who often changed in his performances. He changed the way he played his own pieces. So if he does go out of the way to write out those measures and give you specific instructions on how to end it, he's like, no, this is actually an essential part of the piece. Don't just end it don't replay these measures how you want. Right. Play them softer. Definitely play them softer.
And then get louder at the end.
It changes the story of the piece a lot. it might be interesting for people to hear what like a Bach chorale might kind of
say.
sound like. I mean, this is a simplified, this is just literally the most raw and authentic version of a Bach chorale. 4 voices. Just picked a random one. So that kind of style of writing where there are multiple voices, but they create chords together. You have bass, tenor, alto, and soprano voices in a choir all working together to create harmony. And that is it's not literally what Chopin is doing. I mean, he's got more like 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 voices going on at any given time here, but it's that same style of writing, what we call homorhythmic writing. No, is that right? Is that the right word?
I've never heard that word before.
I think that's right, where it's like, it's been a while since I've taught like music appreciation, so these terms are like, but where all voices are moving together at the same time.
Right.
So
Okay.
it's just
Which
chords.
is essentially what a chorale does.
What a chorale does.
Yeah.
So we have.
It's the opposite of a piece we did in a different episode, Brahms' Opus 119.
Yeah.
That is.
Right. Oh, we did last week. Where instead of, we're actually breaking the chord up in order to, if this were, I want like Jacob Collier to sing this or something.
Oh, yeah.
In like a TikTok video. Jacob Collier, if you're out there and you find this.
I could do it.
Like hearing, okay, we'll do it. Sorry, I offended you. Kind of his expertise, but I don't know. I think you would do a great job doing this.
Well, now I don't want to do it.
No, I need you to do it for next episode, please. You're taking apart the chord in a kind of almost like a not hocketing, but you're like layering the different voices
and different voices
times.
linger for different things, so the harmony is always like being recontextualized.
Yeah, it's more fluid.
So it's like the opposite in every way.
Yeah,
From
exactly.
this.
From this.
Which
is
could you
just,
do a broken version
boom.
of this?
It'd probably sound lame. It sounds awful, but
It doesn't sound awful, but
Chopin would
it's
be like,
just
yeah,
pretty-
cool, man,
pretty
that sounds
basic.
great.
Yeah.
I think because, well, that's interesting how texture influences writing. So
Right.
if he knows he's going to write block chords, this is the voicing that he's going to use.
Right.
If he's going to arpeggiate it, maybe he would do something like.
Yeah.
I mean, he would expand it more. He would change, because now if you're not just block chording it, you can use more of your hand. You can go up and down the keyboard. You're not restricted to one area of the keyboard. But this dark area, this is the dark area of the piano. But he would even maybe like. Maybe do it up there.
I like that.
Maybe it's more lyrical,
Right.
if it's arpeggiated, and then it becomes a totally different piece.
Right.
So it is a chicken or egg thing, where it's like, did he want to write a piece that's kind of like a chorale, or did he want to write something in C minor and that's really dark?
And he was like, this will work best as a chorale.
This will work best as a chorale.
Are any of the other preludes of these 24 preludes chorale-like?
No. I mean,
this
offhand, I don't
collection-
exactly remember, but a lot of them are. Some of them are virtuosic. Some of them are. Remember the one we played?
I was going to say, that's in this collection?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Some of them are lyrical songs. I mean, it's an incredible compendium of 24 very distinct pieces, all in different keys.
Right.
This is just, when composers write these kinds of things, I like to think, oh, this is how he felt about C minor in that moment, because the key matters a lot to the composer who's writing just one piece per key, right? Yeah, I mean, and actually, when I think of C minor chords and starting in this way, I think about Pathétique, right, of Beethoven. Where is it? Let me grab it really quick. Which starts down there in that register that, has a kind of seriousness to it, obviously. And this is more like an overture style, but chords, same kind of writing. And then eventually, this brings us out of it into a kind of beautiful, like, kind of aria in E flat.
Right.
So it's not like some unprecedented move that Chopin is writing chords in C minor here.
Wait, how does the next section of Pathétique go? It's just going to drive me crazy.
Oh,
because that's like a slow intro, right? Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I knew there was like a thing it revs up to.
Yeah, I would have to practice that for sure if I was going to play that. Anyway, back to this. What do you make of this added ending? So it should end there, and then one more time getting this melody. Is that like a...
You don't mean the repeated part, but just that added section that then gets repeated.
No, I mean the actual repeated part, because here... Sorry.
I know, but...
This next part makes sense to me.
Right.
Because it's like a response to what happened. But then this. So I guess the repeated part, softer. What does that mean? Like, it adds so much depth. It's because it turns it from something that's maybe ceremonial, like something that's like almost a funeral march, to a state of reflection that is more personal, more private. It's like, no, let's pull you into what it really means and what it really feels. Not just the ceremony of it, not just not just honoring the feeling, but I don't know, there's something...
Well, hearing anything repeated just changes how you heard the first part, right? Because it kind of makes you go, oh.
Yeah.
Right? Because like you said, if it was just that one iteration of it, it's more ceremonial, or it's like a funeral march. It's okay. Here we go. It's sad, but okay. And then this, it's like, wait.
That's really... That idea of repeating something is very interesting. I was listening to this poet David White reading his poetry, and he'll repeat lines of the poem. I mean, I guess this is a common thing to do in poetry. I don't know how usual that is, but it was extremely effective. He was just repeating certain lines at certain moments, and it gave you a chance not only to understand what he's saying, because lines in poetry just fly by when they're being recited. I mean, when you're reading a poem, you have the luxury of sitting there and looking at it, but it also gave you a chance to reconsider the line and see it in a new light, and an added light that added more depth. And the intonation with which he repeated it changed also his own interpretation of his own line, which changes the meaning of it for you. So it can be really impactful in certain moments to repeat things that are extra, that require an extra tasting. And I think maybe Chopin is commenting on these 4 bars by saying, you know that response that you just heard? What if you heard it with even more intention and pain and sorrow and reflection? And it's rewarding to do that.
Right. Well, it's kind of saying like, no, I mean it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's why
I
we
mean
repeat
this
something in life, in language, right? Like, hey, like that really hurt my feelings. That really hurt my feelings. Like we repeat ourselves all the time for things, or like,
yeah. And usually when you repeat it, it's with added emphasis.
Yeah.
Like how you just said it.
Yeah.
Yeah. More expression.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting. The repeats in classical music are not just practical, which they are too.
Right. We didn't have recordings back then. It would be like, let's hear it again.
Let's just hear it again.
Yeah.
Or like, okay, this is going to be the theme for the whole piece. Let's hear it twice so that you can have it in your mind for the rest of the next 30 minutes is going to be a long one. And I'm going to do a lot of stuff with that theme.
Right.
So let's just hear it one more time.
Yeah. Right.
And sometimes it is that, especially in the classical era.
Well, we don't always have to separate practicality from meaning and expressiveness. They can enhance one another. Just because something is efficient or minimal or practical doesn't mean it's any less expressive.
That's true. Well, I think Chopin definitely packs a lot into this really short piece. And it's interesting that he chooses, with only 12 or 13 measures, to repeat measures. Mm-hmm. It's like he doesn't have a lot of space and time to do this. And it's fascinating that he's like, well, and even within those small amount of measures, I'm going to repeat stuff.
I'm imagining Chopin hearing this and being like, look, guys, my publisher just wanted it to be a little longer.
I literally, I was out of ideas. I was out of ideas. I'm not inspired by C minor at all. That's why it's so short. Oh, crap. I forgot C minor.
Yeah,
it's like I have 23 preludes. It's like, hey, Chopin.
He plays the C minor chord and just goes from there. He's like, okay.
Yeah. It's, okay, wait. He was just playing Pathetique Sonata. Yeah. He's like, okay. Crap. What did I learn in music theory? Okay, can I just do that? No? It's like, no. We're going to need a little more. Okay.
Yeah, right.
About that, huh? And we're just like, wow, he goes. How does he travel from one key to the next? He's like, can we just like modulate to a higher? He was practicing Bach chorales that morning. I do like the idea of he submitted like 23 preludes, and the publisher's like, Chopin.
Friedrich.
Like, are you Friedrich? Freddie? I hate to break it to you, but
you missed something, buddy.
Did we miss C minor? I'm not pointing the finger here.
I could have missed it.
Yeah. No. I'm sure I put C minor in there. No, I'm sure you did too. C minor is a really important key. Beethoven 5. Like,
and he's like,
there's no way you would have missed that.
Oh, it's not in here. Well, we'll just play it for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Or they're like, okay, we have enough space. We have like 2 lines in the music left. Like, can you just whip something up really quick?
Right.
Okay. Bach chorale. Let's do it.
That was a fun bit.
But some of them are really that short. It's like shockingly short. Like this piece just flies by and it's done. And the whole thing is worth repeating. Like that kid in the practice room. I can imagine feeling like, oh, it's over.
Right.
Like, I want to do it again. And it's one of the most famous preludes in this whole set that people are kind of waiting for it. When people play the whole, people are playing 24 preludes and they're like, okay, I don't know that one. I don't really know that one. Ooh, the C minor, and it's done. And then you go into another one.
The C minor.
Yeah, there are a few really famous preludes, but they're really short.
Yeah.
Like, I love his expression, dude. I love that he packs a punch in a really short amount of time.
It's another chicken egg thing though with the popular ones, because part of it is they're played the most. So we like the E minor and the C minor. But are they played the most because they're like the best ones or easier? So it's kind of like, that's why I said chicken egg. Like, why are they repeated because they're good, or are they good to us because they're repeated and familiar? You know what I mean?
I think they're accessible.
Yeah, they're also just so everyone learns them, because like I could probably learn it, even though I don't play piano.
Yeah, and the Chopin ballade, the first ballade is very famous, even though it's hard. But I think one of the reasons it's famous is because it has a really beautiful, accessible melody. That repeats a lot. I mean, it really repeats. And then the fourth ballade too. It kind of like meanders. It kind of just, it's a beautiful song that has trouble finding its way for a long time, but because it's so beautiful, we listen.
Right.
That was Chopin's, one of his many gifts was he was just utter melodicist, where he could hold your attention with a melody very beautifully. Where we lose him sometimes as listeners of the 21st century is when it gets more complicated, when he's a brilliant counterpoint writer. And so when things develop, when things change and it gets more intense, the music gets thicker, pianists appreciate those moments and they're like, oh my God, this is complex. This isn't just melody. Now we get to appreciate Chopin on a whole nother level, but we got to suck people in with those gorgeous melodies.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a lot of artists or even comedians where, the joke everyone remembers is maybe their hackiest joke, but everyone likes it.
Yeah.
But there's like all these other bits that are like, as a comedian, I've like listened so much. So I'm like, oh, but this bit, like, oh, you like that joke?
That
like,
niche.
Yeah, or even happens to me where people will see me and be like, oh, you're so funny. Like, I love this one joke you do. And it's like, let me guess. Like, and I know which one it's going to be. One? It'll be like one of the simple one-liners I do. And I'm like, what? But what about like, this one or like these ones that I worked so long on? Yeah. There's like more like layers to it. But it's like people like the simple stuff.
Yeah, this piece by Rachmaninoff, this Prelude. Apparently, he got so sick of this piece. You can imagine. But it's like, it was so famous. Everybody loved it. I don't play it, so I'm going to F it up soon. It's a little bit of chorale-like. Anyway, that's the texture. Right. You can already tell like people are like, oh yeah, give it to me. Give it to me, Rachmaninoff. It's got something captivating about it. It's deep, it's rich, it's a beautiful line, even though it's not complicated. It's very accessible, and it builds to this beautiful climax. And it has this cool section. It starts building in this really captivating way. But he hated that piece by the end of it. Didn't want to play it anymore. And things get, when something works, inevitably when people find success in something, people are going to ask you to do it again.
Right. We criticize, today's algorithm, but in a way we've always been doing that shit.
We've been doing that. It's human nature.
Like, it's just it's what we do.
And
now it's being reflected back at us in an even more extreme way with technology. But, things are popular and they're usually the more accessible things.
Yeah.
And yeah. What can you do?
I have found that a little with, like, for example, my videos. I mean, you were talking about your jokes.
Right. I'm sure there are certain videos that have a lot of views and you're like, really, that one? Of course. Yeah.
I can kind of predict like what things will be popular now just because of the nature of the tune or something. But, I can't tell you how much time I spent on this piece. I don't even know if I can play it anymore. No, I can't play it anymore. I practiced it, for a while. But this... It's really, really hard because it's this piece by Francois Couperin, and it's supposed to be played on two different manuals of a harpsichord. So
Okay.
you have like one hand up here, one hand down here. But when you play it on the modern piano, you're playing like the same notes in both hands.
Oh,
So you have to
yeah.
make decisions about which notes are being hit by which fingers. So it takes so much energy just to figure that out. And then to talk over that is wild. I mean, it's a fast piece, Le Tic Tac Choc, and it's supposed to mimic like a clock. And I was thinking, oh, this would be a great excuse for me to just practice this real quick and learn it because I love this piece. I love Sokolov has an amazing recording online of it playing live that's just like mind blowing. But I was kind of part of why I do these videos too. It's nice for me to get exposed to new rep that I maybe have heard of or like, and then let me like put that in my hands real quick. And yeah, like it's not a popular video at all, but it's for me as a pianist point of view. I'm like, okay, that is one of the by far probably the most impressive video that I've done in terms of technical playing. It's like, okay, it's clean, it's pretty clean. It's a really hard piece to play, and I'm talking over it. It's like,
And you're talking over it, which like a lot of pianists can't do. Like a lot of really good pianists I know are like, how does he do that? How does he talk? But yeah, and you're like, man, people don't realize what I just did.
yeah, no, and that's fine.
And what can you?
I have zero like negative feelings about that. It's just, it was more like information. Like, okay. People don't care so much about virtuosity at the piano. They care with regard to these videos or social media anyway. They care about, is this relating to me?
Right.
I mean, that's partly
Am
why.
I moved emotionally?
Yeah, and I'm down for that. Like, to me, it just so happens that probably my favorite type of music to play at the piano myself is not virtuosic music. It's poetic, sensitive, often slow, private, a music that invites us to be curious about these deeper parts of ourselves and give us space and time and to be patient with ourselves. So yeah, I tend to pick those pieces. I'm sure there's some pianists who are out there thinking like, oh, you're just picking the easy stuff. And it's like, well, this happens to be the stuff that really moves me, actually. You know, I'm not dying to play like a really, really hard Prokofiev piano sonata right now. And if you are, I'm totally down for that. I mean, I do have to push myself to keep playing things that are virtuosic and challenging so that I keep my chops up.
I know I have the same thing because I play Bach in my act sometimes, and it's like usually the easier stuff because I need to be able to like whip it out on a dime.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm also like, ooh, I don't want to lose. Like I should practice some like gnarly Hindemith or something.
Yeah. I mean, how's that going to happen? Unless, I don't know, you and I.
Well, I just practice sometimes.
Oh, you practice without there being a performance? You're just like
I'll take a half hour and just practice because I'm out of panic.
Yeah.
Not like, every now and then.
I find it
just to be like, I still got it.
It's interesting. As much as I love music, it is hard for me nowadays anyway to practice without having a goal. So for me, I think the videos help because it's like, okay, I'm practicing for something.
Right.
Or, and also, of course, I'm performing a lot still. So I still have performances that I practice for. But if I didn't have that, I don't know how much I would just sit at the piano and I would play. But there's a difference between playing like your friend who drove you crazy playing the C minor.
I don't
Chopin.
know who this person was.
Okay, I'm going to call him your good friend. You literally was a stranger to you?
This pianist existed through the walls. I don't know. I mean, I probably knew them. They lived on my floor, but I didn't know which one it was.
All right, whatever. But whoever that person was,
Yeah.
I would play, but to get better, like better for what? Or like, who, you have to have someone for whom you would be nervous for, or a public that you would want to share your music with. Otherwise, it's very hard to get it to that highest level for you.
Right. I'm at the point where it's not like that for me. Sure, it's fun to practice with like someone in mind that I'm going to impress sometimes, but I also just know how good it makes me feel like for my brain, and like my body, my nervous system to work on something and make it a little better, and just purely for that experience. Like,
Nice.
because I think I'm just so afraid of losing it. Like, it kind of comes out of fear, but the opposite of that fear is when I'm combating it, it's like relief from the fear. And also it's something I used to do so much that I'm missing now, that I think was a big part of my like anxiety management, actually. Even though playing also ironically gave me so much anxiety, a lot of times the practicing helped my nervous system, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, that's really quick to tag along that. If I don't do this thing of sharing through a combination of playing and talking now, what it feels like is I start getting more and more wound up, and this is actually, it's a release. So it's not like, I guess that just means I'm meant to be doing it. Like I feel like I feel most aligned with whatever my purpose is when I'm doing this kind of thing. And so if I let it go, I just get irritable, or I get a little anxious, and I get a little like confused and a little directionless. So maybe it's a similar idea where you kind of need music in your life in order to feel it fulfills some part of you.
Yeah, and I think anyone who's lucky enough to find that thing that fulfills them knows how important it is, and how obvious it is when you find it. It's kind of a physical thing.
Yeah.
Because it's also now stand up where like I find my body like wants to be there.
Yeah. It's like finding the right person or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
Chopin Chorale.
Yeah, that was an unusual one, but just wanted to share that. I don't know what we'll talk about next. Maybe something modern. Anyway. Okay, guys. Have a beautiful day. Have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday.
You want to plug anything? We don't plug.
I don't know. We're not pluggers.
We just care about the art.
The website, DanielAnastasia.com. So I have a newsletter. Isabel's got shows.
Whatever. Okay, bye.
Bye.